Alright guys, welcome back to the Dark Souls 3 all-in-one guide. Today we are going to be breaking Dark Souls 3. Basically, this spell turns the game into easy mode for a lot of the enemies. Not all of them, but a fair amount, especially the ones in Lothric Castle. They can be rapport. Basically, this spell turns the enemies into your friend for 30 seconds, which of course you can abuse to no end, which we are going to do. We're going to have fight clubs galore, and it's going to be beautiful to watch. Now, you have to get this spell from Carla, so if you freed her from her cell, which you should have, you will get the spell for 7,000 souls. It's the best 7,000 souls you'll ever spend. Dark Souls does not need an easy mode. It never has. It's always had it built in with the stuff the game gives you. There are so many ways to break the series in so many different ways, and this is just one example I'm showing you today. Hidetaka Miyazaki is a genius. He made a game where you don't need an easy mode because the stuff the game gives you is your own easy mode. You can make it as easy or as hard as you want. Now, we're going to talk to Patches because now that Grey Rat is not at Firelink, he has taken notice and will not sell you anything. We're just going to tell him. After this conversation, Patches will no longer be at Firelink until you kill a boss. Then he will return. We are going to be using 3 spells in this run. Now, we don't have enough attunement slots for 3 spells, so we have to put on an attunement slot ring. Also, we want to talk to Egon here. We'll be completing Irina's quest shortly. Not in this episode, but later. But we're going to get the last tome in this episode that we need to give her. But like I said, we need an attunement spell slot, so we have to put on some kind of ring, either the Deep or the Saint's ring, in order to give us that extra slot. We're going to need the Dragon Rider bow. Hopefully it's at +4 by now. We're going to need the Pyromancy glove, of course. For items, you're going to want some kind of throwing dagger. I'm using the kukri, black fire bombs, and human pine resin. If you were struggling with Lothric Castle before, you will not struggle with it now. You'll be laughing at the end of this episode if you use this build. Now, are there some things you need to learn how to get good at, which is switching quickly to certain spells and switching quickly to certain items, but it's relatively simple, and I'll show you guys how to do it. Now, when you attune, you want to do it in a certain order. You want to have Hidden Body in your first slot, Rapport in your second slot, and Spook in your third slot. These are the 3 spells we're using. Basically, what we're doing is we're going Hidden Body, we're going to rapport a certain enemy, so we want to have them right next to each other. Because you are on a timer, 30 seconds, so you got to make use of it quickly. Plus, you only have 20 seconds with the Hidden Body. And there's a bit of randomness to these battles. You never really know what's going to happen, but it's really funny and fun to use this setup here. So you want to come over here to the left side and go Hidden Body, then get Rapport ready. You want to rapport the Knight, of course, in the middle. Then quickly kill the Priest. At this point, you can do whatever you want to the Knight. He's not going to attack. He's not even going to put up a shield. You can do whatever you want. Backstab him, bleed him out, whatever is quickest. You are on a timer, though. After 30 seconds, he will become hostile again. This next section is a little tricky. We're going to get Kukri out, and we're going to do Hidden Body after we kill this priest here. First kill the priest. Then go Hidden Body and run to the other guy, not this one. It works with either one, but I found this one more consistent. You want to rapport him, quickly turn around. You want to aggro this enemy somehow, or get him to stop his patrol route so that this guy can catch up. He has to be in his line of sight for him to aggro on him. We're also going to poison the group here because the winner may not be the guy we rapported, and the rapport might run out, so we want the poison to finish him off or get close to finishing them off. Our guy was the victor here. We're just going to finish him off, and that's it. Nice round of applause, guys. You deserve it. You're a little late to the party, buddy. This is a very effective strategy when you have to farm these Lothric Knights for Sunlight Medals later on when you're going for the Covenant item. It's going to make it a lot easier for you guys. And a lot more entertaining, too, when you're grinding for so long. We want to sit at this bonfire to replenish our focus points. We're going to get Hidden Body ready. Here is Prince Lothric's garb. You want to come over here to the left and pick up this Titanite chunk. But before you move, go Hidden Body. Get rapport ready. Get right here and rapport this guy right here. He's going to get shot in the back. Of course, he's going to aggro on him for shooting him. Usually he'll win the fight. Sometimes the crossbow guy will run away, though, and that complicates things. There's a bit of randomness, but you want to finish that guy off, come up here and backstab this guy. Now there's a spear user coming down the stairs, so you want to wait until he's near the bottom of the stairs, because we're going to aggro the guy that's behind the barricade on him. So we're going to rapport the spear user, then run over close to trigger the attack, and then they're going to attack each other. Now you want your bow, and we're going to thwart an ambush here before you go down the steps. You want to shoot this hollow in the head. Then we're going to switch to black fire bombs. And you can actually aim your black fire bombs. You see little fingers right there. You know they're just hanging there. You can take them both out with one throw. Now we're going to snipe a very annoying hollow that's chunking undead hunter charms down at you. And that will affect your Ashen Estus, so you want to take him out. You don't want him to cause any problems. So he needs to die, and he needs to die now. Three arrows should do it. Now, there's a winged knight that's going to fall down from above. We can rapport him and just have our way with him. Just make sure to cast it fast enough. Now, there are 3 Lothric winged knights that are at the top of Lothric Castle that give you like 30-something thousand souls. Using rapport on them is very effective, and it makes the farming a lot less painful. If you're going for a lot of souls, that's your place to farm. Alright, are y'all ready for some more entertainment? Let's go. I'm going to cast Spook here. Get Hidden Body ready. You want to stick to the right. Stay out of this guy's aggro range. Go Hidden Body. Select Rapport. And this poor hapless fellow is about to get annihilated. This guy will come out of nowhere and just destroy him. And then we're going to rapport him. And he's going to go after the other archer. It's a beautiful thing to witness. And we just finish him off. Now this next area can be a little tricky. We're going to wait and just watch. See what this guy's doing, the big guy. If he's over there, you want to wait. You don't want to rapport him just yet. And there's a guy playing possum right there. He's about to get the business too. But what we want to do is wait until the big hollow is about right here. The reason you want to wait until he's right there is because this guy is going to come and attack him. And you want to be in the right range. Sometimes I can get, you just hit this guy and run to your buddy, and he'll attack him, but for some reason he just stayed there this time. He didn't want no part of Big Boy. So we're just going to take out the big one. But sometimes he will come after you, and then the big hollow will destroy him. Your shield will block all of the attacks. It's no biggie. And this area is clear. We took no damage and had 0 problems. This is the easiest way to beat this area by far. Now we're coming up to our first bonfire. Now you can sit at it if you want to, but if you sit at it, you're going to respawn that archer guy at the top, which we're going to go get an item that's right there. But it's just one enemy. I mean, it's not a big deal. But I'm not going to sit at it yet. We're going to get rapport out, and we're going to take care of a knight that is guarding a lance. This guy's got quite the health pool, so we could hidden body spam him, but why do that when we can just report him? This is the new spam. Too easy. Now, spook, because we're about to do a drop. You can get past the dragons here in multiple ways. You can shoot them from distance if you want to, or you can just run past them, but it's not easy to do, and I don't recommend it. It's not consistent. But you want to go over here and snipe this guy in the head, because he will transform into one of those puffs of man, and there's another one over here that's guarding the twinkling. You want to shoot him as well. You can shoot them anywhere and they'll die in one hit, I think. Now, this next area is Ambush City. Now, you don't really have to fight these hollows, and it's really not recommended to do such, but I wanted to have some fun with rapport again, so yeah, I did a little more than I had to do here. But there's a crystal lizard here that's like a trap. But if you go hidden body, get rapport ready here. Let's go kill the crystal lizard. As long as you got hidden body on, the hollow will not aggro on you. He's already dropped down, but there's other ones that are going to drop down, so we're going to rapport him. We got to make sure we get hidden body again, because it's going to run out, and we don't want all these enemies to aggro on us. So you're going to run all the way down here, wait for all the enemies to spawn. This is the last one here. I like to aggro. Now I like to rapport that one in the middle, because he'll be sandwiched in between, and two hollows are going to go after him. Then there's just one left. Too much fun. We have a Lothric Wing Knight coming up, but you don't need to go hidden body. You can just run up and rapport him, no problem. His aggro range is pretty lenient. You still got to get close enough to use rapport, though. It's not going to work like a sniper rifle or anything. You got to get pretty close. Now, if you sat at the bonfire, you'll have to deal with the hollow right here, but it's just one guy. And that's that area done. Now we're going to go to the left side of the area. Now we're going to sit at the bonfire to replenish our Ashen Estus. Now, coming up is the hardest part of the area. It's that Irithel Knight, the Boreal Valley, the ones that have the frostbite effect. They're very hard to kill. They have this weird moveset. It's just very unpredictable. But we want to go spook here, drop down. We're going to snipe the guy on the left again. You definitely want to snipe this guy again, because if you don't, he'll transform into the Puss of Man and be able to hit you from right here. So we're going to go hidden body here, go rapport. You want to charm this one right here, and the big guy will kill him. But then you want to rapport the big guy that just killed that guy, so the other guy will kill him. Again, we don't know who the victor is going to be, so I like to poison just to be safe, and it looks like our guy lost. So we're going to rapport him so that we can just have our way with him. There are two Lothric Knights at the end of this area here. We're just going to poison them, because we have to come back through this area, and they'll be near death. So just go hidden body. Try to aim in the middle. Now this is the hardest part of the area, guys. This is harder than the boss, in my opinion. Even though the boss is pretty hard. You want to come over here, backstab this hollow. Now, the Irithel Knights are weak to dark, so you can use that, and that's what we're going to use. You can snipe him a little bit and run away and stuff like that. I've even tried to use the big dudes in the previous area to aggro on him, but it's just not consistent enough. The best thing to do is to use hidden body here. Use your dark damage on your dagger, but you see, he's just too quick. Even if you try to snipe him, he'll know where you are, and you can't reliably cheese this guy. You're gonna have to fight him. We're gonna have to get good and just go for it this time. There just isn't a reliable way to cheese this guy that's consistent. I mean, yeah, you can snipe him here, like I say, but you see how he just still comes in and hits me? He knows where I'm at, and it's just better to just put your shield up, get some stamina ready, and just do the best you can. Now, you want to make sure you take off the bow so you're not fat rolling, because you're going to need to be able to roll. I don't recommend fighting him on the stairs either. Now, there is one overhead slam that he does that will give you an opening, but he doesn't do it all the time. And you got to be wary of the frostbite effect as well, because you're going to take a lot more damage if you get frostbitten. Just keep trying to get to his backside. Don't get greedy with your hits. You have to play a little defensively here, but you'll get him. We took some damage, so we're just going to heal. Make sure you get all these chests down here. There's some twinkling, a scale, and a shield. Alright, we're going to take some more damage here because I haven't really found a way to reliably get past the dragon unless you just snipe him from distance, which just takes too long. And I just don't want to shoot a bow at him for 5 minutes, so we're just going to go hidden body. Sometimes I get through it, sometimes I don't. It's just random. If you hear him roaring, don't go for it. I did it here, but I made a mistake. You're going to take quite a bit of damage from the fire. But once you get past it, just heal up. And we're going to get our bow out. If you saw my Indiana Jones walkthrough, you know exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to snipe these 3 guys up here. Now there's another guy that we want to take out right here. Now we're going to use a fire arrow and explode the barrels here to take out the other guy that's hiding. Another use for the fire arrows there. There are explosive barrels all over the place here, and the enemies are going to be chunking black fire bombs at you. That's why you don't want to go the other way. You want to come up this ladder instead. But we're going to go hidden body here, get to the top. But you got to be careful here because there's 2 hollows that are going to rush your position if you go too far forward. So we're going to make sure we take them out quickly. Now we're just going to go take care of this dragon. 4 hits to aggro, then run away. You want to be far away because you'll get cursed from this stuff that it spews out. And you just don't want to be dealing with that, so just back up. If you're right here, it can't do anything to you. Alright, we need to deal with some hollows. You can reliably snipe. There's 2 of them here. You can snipe them from distance if you have the feather arrows. You can definitely hit them in the head. Even though I missed the first 2 shots, you can see the head's just swaying a little bit. You just have to be a little patient. Now this one will take about 2 good shots to the head. Now we're going to go loot the area the dragon was guarding. There's quite a bit of good items here. some chunks and scales and all kinds of stuff. Now that gate right there will be opened, and that is a shortcut you can use later. There's actually 2 shortcuts in this area that we're going to open. Now you could go up the stairs if you want, but like I said, I think it's easier going this way. There are going to be some hollows that rush you, but we can rapport them and let them kill each other. They'll aggro no matter if they see you or not. They're just programmed to run here. Here they come. Aggro the first one, he'll just turn around and go for his friend. Be careful, there is a lantern hollow here. We want to take him out first before we do anything else. There are a lot of hollows in this room just waiting to be awoken by the lantern guy, so we're going to take him out first. There are 2 hollow thieves in this area right here. We're just going to poison them. You can't rapport them from this spot because they're not aggroed yet. If you aggro them, you can rapport them. We could rapport them at this point. And that's what we're doing. The poison will finish the other one off. We're just going to kill all these hollows, but we are going to charm the mimic. Mimics can be charmed, which is nice because you'll never have to worry about mimics ever again. You just need to aggro it and be ready to cast. As soon as you get the lock on, just cast and you're good to go. You have to be wary. Sometimes those hollows that were in that previous area will come at you. But, yeah. We got lucky there. He just died from the poison. You want to open the shortcut right here. Lift this gate up. Now, you don't really have to fight these enemies. You can run through all this area, and there's only one item in this area, which is the ember. But what we're going to do is we're just going to run in here. I should have killed this guy because he hits me later, but we're going to rapport him and stick to the right side, loop around and get the ember. And really there's nothing else here there's really nothing else. That's it. You need to get out of here basically. Unless you just want to be cheeky and kill all the enemies. There's no advantage to fighting these guys. This guy's getting bored, so he's just attacking the furniture, so you can take out this priest though. Now, if I would have remembered to open up the shortcut, I wouldn't have taken a hit later on in the run. So make sure you send the lift down. But I run right past it like an idiot. So later on in the run, I have to come back and get it. Your next ring is your red tearstone ring, your 55th ring out of 107. It's over here outside. Now we want to get Spook. This is one place you would definitely want to use Spook, because there's quite a fall here. There's a chime down here, and it's going to lead us back to where we poisoned those Lothric Knights earlier. They haven't quite died, but they're one hit from death. Now we're just going to make our way back to where we were. Again, make sure to open up the shortcut. I forgot to do it, and I had to come back and waste time doing it again. And I forgot to go hidden body, and I take a hit from the Lothric Knight when he had his buffed sword, and it was quite irritating. So just make sure to open up the shortcut. way to the boss is there, but you want to go this way. And the lift is right here, and I just passed it. You want to approach from this side because there's a chunk and it's going to give you time to go hidden body, get rapport ready. You want to wait until the big guy is right in between the other two guys. Then they'll sandwich him and just shoot them both at the same time. Or at least they'll try. Either way, the big dude is always going to win this one. Now, our Master of Rings, 56 out of 107, the Knight's Ring. It's right here down this ladder. You can't miss it. Now, it's achievement time. We're going to get our Master of Expressions done finally, but before we get that, we have to take this guy out so he doesn't cause us any problems. So, hidden body, rapport. There's also some scales in the chest you don't want to miss. There's 3 of them in this chest. So we'll be able to get our Crystal Sage Rapier up pretty quickly now. But your last Master of Expression is Praise the Sun. And you'll get your achievement for Master of Expression. All gestures are done. And you'll be returning here to offer your Sunlight Medals to max out this Covenant, which is a painful grind again. Now, once again, I'm going to remind you, open up the shortcut. I forgot to do it, and I paid the price later. So, we're going to come over here, though, and we're going to take out this Pus of Man from way up here. You could throw black fire bombs at it, and it will do more damage. So make sure you use Spook here, though. It's quite the drop. We're about to take on a Mimic, and we'll get Solaire's weapon. We can combine with his armor if we want to. We can cosplay as Solaire now. We're just going to charm the Mimic. There's no other way to take him out now. This is the best way to do it. Work smarter, not harder. He'll just go back into his position as being a chest, but they will not attack. You got 30 seconds to do whatever you want. We got Solaire's sword now. We're going to make sure we pick up Arena's last tome. I realized I did not have the shortcut opened, and this is where I made my mistake. I should have went hidden body right here, and I wouldn't have taken any damage. Instead, I waited too long, and here he comes. Boom! Waited too long, pay the price. Or I should have just killed him earlier, but it's whatever. But your shortcut needs to be opened. All that could have been avoided had I just come over here, got the Sunlight Medal, and sent the lift down. That's all I needed to do. I could have avoided all that nonsense. Now we're going to go get our last item of the area, which is an Undead Bone Shard. And this will be our 9th out of 10th. And then we're just going to go back to Firelink and spend all these juicy souls and get ready for the boss. And because we got a lot of chunks and scales, we're going to upgrade some weaponry while we're here. We can get our Bandit Knife to plus 10, which is max, and our Crystal Sage Rapier up 1, I think, to plus 4. I'm still working on Intelligence and Faith, but I think I'm going to get my Faith up to 25 and then work on Intelligence again. I got it balanced right now, but after I kill the boss, I'm going to come back and I'm going to concentrate on Faith. I wanted it at 25 so I can use the dark weapon. I'll always be able to have a dark buff no matter what. And I won't have to keep spending money on human pine resin. So we want to upgrade our weapons. Crystal Sage Rapier can go to plus 4. Or is it plus 3 actually? And our Bandit Knife to plus 10. We're going to relot our Estus. We don't need any Ashen Estus for the boss fight, but we are going to need a regular Estus. And we're just going to talk to Irina and give her the last tome. This will ensure, of course, that we'll get her good ending. After we buy all of her miracles from her, she'll relocate and become a Firekeeper. And then we'll be able to get Egon's stuff later, once we have ensured her safety.
Welcome, host speak. Very well then taken. Farewell, Ashen One.
For the boss. We're a bit of a pickle here. We don't really have what he's weak to. He's weak to frost damage, but that's not until the DLC. So what we're going to do is use the next best thing, which is magic. He's pretty weak to magic too. Not as much as frost, but we're going to use magic and we're going to buff with rings. We're going to use all 3 of our magic rings, which is the Bellowing Dragoncrest ring, the Young Dragoncrest ring, because they stack with each other, and also we're going to take off this ring because we don't need 3 spells, we only need 1 really. And we're going to use the Lingering Dragoncrest ring because our great magic weapon will last longer. I changed my mind. At first I was going to use the magic clutch ring, but I ended up changing it to the Lingering Dragoncrest ring. Because the guy does a lot of damage, and if you're going to use the magic clutch ring, you're going to take even more damage. So great magic weapon is what you want. But this will be your 28th achievement, the Dragon Slayer armor. Unfortunately, we got to fight him again. Well, actually, you don't have to fight him again in the DLC, but he does give you some stuff, so I don't know why I went hidden body here. It wasn't necessary. Yeah, they can hear you anyway because you don't have your Slumbering Dragoncrest ring on. We're going to take the lift up to the boss. And here's where I decided, you know what? Let's go Lingering Dragoncrest ring. Gives a little more time with the great magic weapon. As far as the strategy for the boss, play defensive. Don't get greedy. Once he does his overhead slams, that's your time to do damage. He does a couple of them. One's a big lightning hit, and then another one is just a slam. That's your time to get damage, but you can roll into certain attacks and get 1 or 2 hits. It's just stamina management. Roll, dodge really is the get good speech here. He uses a shield quite a bit too, so you got to make sure you be able to recognize when he's going to do that. But he'll usually do 2 swings. Sometimes he'll follow up with an overhead slam. If he does that, that's when you want to go for a bunch of hits like right here. That's one of the attacks you need to watch for. Always be ready to dodge even after the second hit. Took a hit there with the shield. Shield is pretty hard to dodge sometimes. He mixes up his attacks pretty well. But that's definitely the area right there where you want to go in. gotta be very careful when he goes two-handed like this. If you get hit one of his two-handed attacks, you're gonna take a lot of damage, and it will stagger you, knock you back quite a bit. Sometimes it can knock you off the arena. But again, that's the attack you're waiting for. Always have stamina ready to dodge those attacks. And now you have to worry about the dragons on the sides of the arena that will shoot lasers at you. Just be wary if you see any stuff coming, you just get out of the way. It's pretty well telegraphed. You got to get out of the way when you see all that red stuff coming. And that's basically it. You just have to be careful of the shockwave too. You can roll through the shockwave if you time it just right. As you can see, I'm just running away from that. You can roll right through the shockwave and sometimes roll right into an attack. I took one hit there, mistimed my roll, paid the price. Had I been using the magic clutch ring, I probably would have died there. So I made the right decision. And that's it. Make sure to put on the symbol of avarice and have your Shield of One out. And that is Lothric Castle done. On easy mode, of course. I'm going to come over here and get this chunk. Kind of well hidden. And we're just going to go back to Firelink once we get to this next bonfire and level up a little bit, and that's it. That'll be the episode, guys, and we'll be back in the next one when we go into the Grand Archives. If you haven't beaten all the Lords of Cinder up to this point, you will not see that item there, and you will not be able to get into the archives. So like I said, I'm going to work on Faith up to 25. I want to get it to 25 first, and then I'm going to get my intelligence to match it again, and then I'll go balanced again. But now, I really want to get my Faith to 25 first. And now that we've killed the Dragon Slayer armor, we can get Patches back. He should be back at Firelink. Check to see if he's here. He should be.
Well, look at you. I just got hold of some truth. Now just wait.
You'll get some different dialogue there if you don't buy anything from him. And that's it. See you guys in the next one.